Hello guys, you're watching the One-to-One Show. I'm Michael, your host. Welcome to the show. One of the most electrifying newcomers to the UK music industry today is a young brother by the name of Jahmene Douglas. He first stole the heart of the British public when he auditioned for the X Factor back in 2012, singing At Last by the late Etta James. He has since sung on stages throughout Europe, and today he joins me on the One-to-One Show to talk about how his faith in God pulled him through a difficult childhood and how it's even helping him navigate his way through the music industry today. This young man has such an amazing testimony. Keep watching and allow him to minister to you.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over.
Welcome to the One-to-One Show. On today's episode, my guest Jahmene Douglas shares the story behind the theme for his debut album.
I've decided from the get-go that it was going to be 1 Corinthians 13:8. Love never fails. It comes to me through my mother. From a very young age, no matter what she went through, how many times she got beaten down and I saw that she had no strength at all, love never failed to pick her back up on her feet and put her arm around me and say it's okay to cook the dinner. When she's black and blue, she was made sure that we were okay first before she was.
I asked why he wears a ring on his ring finger, and this is what he had to say.
To me, it's for me, not for other people really, because people think, oh, you don't need to show that to other people, but it's just for me to know, I'm holding out, I'm waiting for the perfect woman.
Lastly, Jahmene tells the world what he's looking for in a woman. Ladies, this is for you.
A woman needs to respect herself first, because then she knows that she's got the right thing. And hopefully I'll be that right thing. A woman that's just beautiful on the inside, which is the cheesiest thing to say, but just a woman that's lived, has had experiences and knows how to... This is hard.
No worries, mate. I can help you with that. Well, without further ado, stay tuned for more. So guys, I told you I had Jahmene Douglas from X Factor on the show today, and I wasn't joking. Jahmene, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and I appreciate you for doing this.
Thank you very much.
A slightly different setting to what we've been accustomed to seeing.
Yes.
Because we're seeing you on the big shows, and I'm glad you've chosen to do this because it's different, and we're really proud of you, because you're like you're one of us. You're a Christian out there in the mainstream, do your thing.
Christian soldier.
Absolutely, and we're 100% behind you. The funny thing and the great thing about you doing the show is many people didn't know how much of a Christian you are.
Which I'm quite shocked about. I thought I made it obvious.
Let me tell you what the problem is right now. Some people just come on TV to do that to look good. There are many people who have said they are, but when you compare what they do and what they
I was through the way I was. That makes sense.
You were, and the funny thing, and I didn't know this while you were on the show. I just found out that there were times on the show when you were asked to sing certain songs, like a Katy Perry one that they told you about, and you refused to do it because of it contradicted your beliefs.
Had sexual things that were just like unbelievable to be in a song for Ella Henderson to sing as a 16-year-old as well. So I thought, nope, not doing this.
See, I commend that, because not many people are afraid because they feel that they might lose the opportunity if they stand out and talk about their faith. I
think when it comes to my faith, it's the one thing I'm not afraid to stand up for.
I love it. Come on, put it there, man. I love it. Now, I'm going to ask you, I would ask you what made you try out for the X Factor, but let me ask you this. I heard anyway, that the X Factor producers called you after they heard your version of His Eyes on the Sparrow on YouTube. Is that correct?
I think my manager pushed it for me.
So what was it like doing that audition? Why did you feel like it was time for you to come out?
I was working in Asda first of all.
Yes, yeah.
So life wasn't going to the platform that I wanted it to go to.
Yeah.
Though I was happy in church just singing. But I thought maybe I need to start, because in England there's no one with that message.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I need to bring that message to England with that type of music, whether doesn't have to say God in every single line.
Sure.
If it's just love, first of all.
God is love.
To break it in, exactly.
Yeah.
Break it in. So people don't know what they're getting first of all, but then they get it. it's like, okay,
I love
I'm
it.
hearing it now.
Now that you're in the industry, what would you like your music to do for people?
What it's done for me, because it's been that sanctuary of where I can go to be uplifted when I'm feeling down, or just to rejoice and to sing along.
You talked about sanctuary, so you're really leading me onto what I was going to ask you next. You know, on the obviously we met you through the X Factor, we met you through other media outlets, but we haven't. I feel like we haven't got to meet the real Jahmene yet, you know, because you have an interesting testimony. You know, you came from what I've heard, an abusive home. You know, where your dad would beat you and your mum, and you know, I can relate to that because I come from a similar experience. But I'd love for your testimony to encourage other people. What was it like growing up as a young man, you know, with that at home?
It wasn't just the physical abuse, it was the mental, because I wasn't allowed to sing at home, wasn't allowed to make a noise.
Wow.
So it was the control side of things. So when I put my headphones in, that was my sanctuary.
Right.
And I started to sing to myself to calm myself down, and I found this love. And at a young age I didn't know what it was at first, but I found myself praying for my mother when I heard her screaming, and that's when I found God.
So you didn't necessarily go to church?
I think I wasn't allowed to go to church.
Isn't that amazing? I don't know many people who got to find God without necessarily having to be in that church setting, but you were able to find God in your bedroom.
I think a lot of people that claim they don't believe. When their mother's got cancer, they'll pray. So I think when you hit that certain kind of level, you find there is something there.
You look for God. That's true, isn't it? When you're in a car accident with people who are not Christians, when things start happening, what's the first name they start calling? I've never heard anyone say Buddha, Muhammad, or anybody else. Everybody says Jesus, don't they? So whether they claim to believe or not, I suppose there's that thing that everybody knows.
Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. Will you still love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure, or just one moment's pleasure? Can I believe the magic of your sight? Will you still love me tomorrow?
Is that how you discovered what your gift, your voice, this gift, is that when you discovered it?
I never saw it back then as a gift, I saw it as my outlet. So when I sung, I was just releasing what was being burdened on me from my father. So I just felt like I was letting go every time I sung.
Yeah.
I never saw it as a talent, because it was just for myself at that time. But as I got older, I saw going to church, what it done for people, how much they were getting from it, and I thought, I got to take this to another platform. And that's when the X Factor came along.
Yeah.
But I was doubtful about the X Factor because of the control that it has.
And how did you find that? Speaking from somebody who has been on the show.
If your faith is strong, a strong faith is contagious. So as long as you stay in that zone.
That's good. Yeah, strong faith is contagious.
If you stay in that zone, then the people around you will start to see they can't change who you are, because that's who you are.
That's brilliant. So you've been thrust into this music industry out there. In comparison to the normal life that you had just a year and a half ago, versus what your life has become now, having been on the X Factor, is a very different reality, if you will, altogether. And being in the music industry is not like being in the gospel or church, or being in the choir or any of those other things. What role does your faith play in your music career now?
Before, it was more trying to help myself grow. My faith was building me up, and I feel like it was building me up for this moment of this album, so I can be the strong person that I am now. I feel that I've become more comfortable with music, with myself, so I can show people what I have, to to show this is what you can have no matter what you're going through. So hopefully that's what my faith is doing now, is inspiring other people to do the same.
And I love that because you know, from the moment we saw you on the audition, I think all of us connected with you straight away. And looking at you on then and having you here, you seem like a very different person. You've grown into yourself, and it's brilliant to see. So I hear you're working on this new album. Where is it at? When can we expect it?
I think July 1st. They did want it earlier, but I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be true, authentic.
So I've heard some rumors, and we were talking about it, which you just confirmed. I want you to talk to them. I heard you're doing somewhat of a gospel album.
Definitely.
Okay.
I think
tell us about it.
I can't not do something that's gospel and soul, because it's written in my voice.
Right. It's who you are, isn't it?
It's who I am. I can't sing pop because it's not doing the message that I want it to spread. It's going to be gospel interpretations, so taking modern songs, giving it that gospel flavour so people realise what they're listening to, rather than just listening to the music. Listen to the lyrics and what the singer's trying to tell you, and trying to take you on a journey to teach you something. My next album will be my artist album, where I'm writing them, but I'm hoping to do some writing on this album.
So who have you worked with? What can we expect? Who would you like? Who would you like to work with on this album?
I would like to work with Stevie Wonder, the eighth wonder of the world.
Yes.
Because he's just a genius. His heart is pure. His lyrics are pure no matter what he sings.
He's amazing. He's one of my
To work with him would be something.
It's coming though.
A lesson, I think it would be.
Yeah. And is that all? We've talked about a lot of and you know, Jahmene is clued up in the gospel. I love it. We've just been having a blast before we came. But who are some of your favorite gospel artists then? Because you've mentioned quite a few names.
Quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
I like the traditional sound of LaShawn Pace, Karen Clark, the old raw. Like I'm singing because I need to sing.
Those are some of your influences, your musical influences?
Definitely, like CeCe Winans, Yolanda Adams, Kim Burrell.
Yeah.
All these people preach to you when they sing, every time they sing. There's a lot of people, they sing, they'll do it just for a certain platform, then they'll go and sing somewhere else, so they're not singing the same message. So that's the important thing. When you're a singer, you have a responsibility every time you sing to give a part of you.
What's it gonna be called?
I've decided from the get-go that it was going to be 1 Corinthians 13:8. Love never fails.
Love never fails. What does that mean to you?
To me, I think it comes to me through my mother. From a very young age, no matter what she went through, how many times she got beaten down, and I saw that she had no strength at all. Love never failed to pick her back up on her feet and put her arm around me and say it's okay to cook the dinner. When she's black and blue, she always made sure that we were okay first before she was. That's God. God never failed. Love never failed.
As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause, after giving it my all. Winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through, who on earth can I turn to? I look to you, I look to you. Hey, after all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. Take me far away from the battle. I need you, Lord. Shine on me. I look to you. I look to you. Hey, after all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you.